Crazy. That's the second rattlesnake I ran over accidentally in the last month. And that one was huge. It's just weird coincidence because this certain song started right when I think I just nicked it though, because the last rattlesnake. Hey, baby. The last rattlesnake I hit was during the day, and I felt it. You know, even though it's a snake, I felt like I hit something in my truck. And then I turned around and I saw it all dead, you know. Well, I didn't turn around right then, but I saw it later. And then I'm driving home from work and I'm getting cigarettes. Jesus fucking Christ, like 5 pens just flew out of my pocket. I'm getting cigarettes and there's Twisted Sisters playing. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. No. Anyways, I used to play that song when I was a teenager, and I got up to the counter and I told the girl, I'm like, did you put this song on? Like, are you playing Twisted Sister or is it just on the radio? She's like, I put it on. And I was like, that is fucking rad. She's like pretty young to be listening to Twisted Sister. And then anyway, she asked me for my birthday and I gave her my birthday and she's like, that's my birthday. It's just weird coincidences, you know. And, you know, I'm a Taurus, obviously, and and she's like, yeah, right on the cusp. Yeah, anyways, and then I'm driving home and it's just crazy because I hit this rattlesnake, but I feel like I just nicked it because I actually turned around this time to see if it was dead or what, and I didn't see anything. There's no sign of it. So I'm like, was thinking, did it like wrap up in my tire or in my truck or something? And so when I got out of my truck, I went like crawled over to the passenger side of my truck, and I'm glad I have a lariat because all the lights, you know, my truck's lit up on the side. Anyways, I jump out of my truck. You know, I jump like 5 feet, you know, away from my truck because I feel like the snake's gonna be all injured and just like all fucking pissed off and shit. But I'm hoping because that first rattlesnake I killed involuntarily, it made me sad. It did, and I don't even like snakes. I mean, I'm more like scared of snakes. Anyways, it kind of made me sad. And then this one, it was even bigger, and I didn't feel like I hit it as much as the first one. I kind of nicked it, and I'm thinking maybe I just like crushed part of its head, and it just started like flaring out of control and just like went off in the grass. It's sad because I looked it up, you know, like what does that mean? You know, and they say when you try not to hit rattlesnakes, because a lot of times when you run them over, it just injures them and they suffocate on their own blood for like days before they die. I'm like, fuck, that is so horrible. But I'm also not gonna like swerve. I mean, if it was like a dog, I'd probably slam on my brakes or swerve. But there's a lot of people that die from trying to swerve out of the way to wildlife. When I lived in Montana, I lived in high elevation, and it was a really small town. And there would be like 18 and 19-year-olds that would see like a deer or some wildlife and just yank the wheel, and then they would fly off the mountain and die, you know. And it was sad because they were young, because most, you know, 18 and 19-year-olds, they're not going to try to hit some gigantic animal. It's just a natural reaction, to try to swerve out of the way. And so it'd be really sad because people would come over to our house crying, like, that their kid, flew off, the mountain and died in their truck. And it was really sad. Montana was cool. I mean, we had the only liquor license in town. We owned the grocery store. We owned a couple restaurants. There was only 2 bars in town, and the next town was like 8 miles up the road. So just kind of like everybody knew each other. And I was dating this Native American girl named Desiree, and she looked like Pocahontas. I mean, she's unbelievably attractive. Everybody, she had this guy that was like obsessed with her, and so she'd be in, my room, and I lived in this gigantic house, and we had like 8 trucks, we had RVs, we had hot rods. We were just like very, very wealthy, and we also built houses. Like we had a contracting company that my dad ran, and then my stepmom ran all like the liquor and stuff. But anyways, yeah, the basement of my house in Montana was bigger than this house, just the basement, and it was just shelves of Crown Royal, Grey Goose, just boxes of. So I go down there and get whatever I wanted, and then I had the master bedroom, and so Desiree was always in my room, and we were always like drinking and watching fucking whatever TV show in this gigantic master bed, and this dude was just like the son of my stepmom was like in love with her since like elementary school because they all grew up in the small town. So he's like knew her for 10 years, and I rolled up from California, and she's like, we're dating, and he would just he would like park in front of the house even though he was family. He was obviously the son of my stepmom, and he would just sit in his truck just all fucking pissed off. It's like, dude. Which was weird because he had a girlfriend. He and his girlfriend was fucking hot. He was like the all-star football player in the town, and his girlfriend was fucking smoking hot. And in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, I would way rather have your girlfriend, and I don't know why you're so obsessed about fucking Desiree. She's not even your fucking girlfriend. But anyways, we moved to, what was it, Bozeman or Missoula, the college town. And we had an apartment there for a while before we moved to California. And then we lived at a few different places in California. We lived in Anaheim. We rented a room in this house, and then we lived in Fullerton at this apartment for a while. She's such a lush. You're a lush. You're just like your owner. You just want attention all the time. Okay. Where was I going with that? Yeah, that. Anyways, the snake, hitting the rattlesnake, 2 rattlesnakes. I looked it up, and it's this. I mean, they say not to give in to superstition. I mean, I just cannot help but to look up what that means. It's just maybe it's a normal thing out here. I live in the country, and it says that if you run over a snake, it means like transformation, and that you're getting rid of fear in your life. So it's like killing fear, basically, or fear dying in your life, which is weird because I've been feeling really good today. I just feel good. I worked 12 hours, just like a smooth work day. Just had a great work day. But yeah, we're mastering and producing Inside and Out. Obviously, I put the demo up on Spotify. I mean, I like the demo, but it's just what I just did the drums real quick, and they're all fucked up, and I sent them this. I record stuff, and then I send it to my buddy, and he makes the shit I record sound good, basically. I'm like, clean. I send him an open project. I'm like, clean this up for me, man. This sounds fucking horrible. Yeah, so Inside and Out is going to be, I'm releasing that as a single, and it's going to sound, like Orange Knight, basically. It's going to sound mastered and produced and all that stuff. You know, it's just hitting the snake and then meeting the girl at, you know, getting smokes, and she had the same birthday as me. And then Twisted Sister was playing, and I used to play drums when I was a teenager, and I played that in front of like a lot of people. We'd do a couple Twisted Sister covers, and it's just, there's got to be something out there, you know. There's just too many like a lot of people might just say it's like coincidences, but sometimes I think there's something out there, like, I don't want to say controlling us, but like guiding us, or there's something. You ever see that movie? And it's called like the Adjustment Bureau. I can't even fucking talk. Bureau, the Adjustment Bureau, and like they like alter people's lives and make sure that certain things happen a certain way. And in the movie, they're like, some people call us angels, other people call us whatever. But I swear, sometimes I think, you know, some people might call that like the shadow government, not to like be some conspiracy theorists. But I think I've had, you know, really unusual fucking things happen in my life that are just unexplainable, you know. And it's just, I don't know really what I'm trying to say. I can't even focus on my life with her. I almost want to make a cup of coffee. Instagram won't let me go fucking live. They won't. They're like, your account is not eligible to go live anymore. It's like, fuck you guys. Fuck you, Meta. You know, it's like, they act like they could just, you know, do whatever they want and control everything. I'm probably just going to end this live. Oh my gosh. There's like some people watching. I went live. I usually go live on Instagram. I feel more comfortable on Instagram because I know everybody that follows me. And on YouTube, I feel like there's just a lot of strangers on YouTube, people that I don't know. So I don't know. I think YouTube is, I don't want to say it's more of a trashy platform, but to me, it seems more. Instagram, it's, you know, it's like, okay, I could see everybody who's following me, but I have like whatever 400 subscribers. I don't know anybody. I don't know. It could be people I know. It could be people I don't know. I don't fucking know. So I haven't had coffee in a long time. I was doing coffee for a while, and I switched to energy drinks because I just like working so much. I'm starting to get burnout from work and working a grip. The last 4 months, I've been doing 60 hours a week, and I know I'm not fucking bitching about it or fucking being a martyr. It's a lot, you know, from going from not working at all to 60 hours a week, and I have a high intensity fucking sales job. You know, people write me $100,000 checks. You know, I do credit fucking apps. It's intense. You know, I call banks and stuff, and I know, believe it or not, but I fucking went to a university. I know it's hard to believe, but I make $20,000 a month. So I'm not being arrogant. It's just what's happening. It is what it is. Okay. I'm fucking so ADHD. I'm just randomly looking through my kitchen and stuff, and there's nothing that I want to eat. Yeah, but running over to rattlesnakes, killing rattlesnakes, it just, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of hunting and stuff. I'm pretty against that. I'm gonna put one of these in the fucking freezer. Look at that. I feel chatty today, just like on my refrigerator. Let's go from chatty to stressed. There we go. That's more like it. Yeah, I don't know why running over that rattlesnake reminded me of living in Montana. So I totally lost track of what I was gonna say. Yeah, I feel like I'm literally about I feel like I was going to have a nervous breakdown for about 3 days. Seriously, I felt like I was going to have a nervous fucking breakdown. And then today I just started feeling better for some reason. I have no idea why. Ginger, you got to give me space, girl. You're always on me from all the time. It's like parent training. I can't handle it. Just you're right there. She looked at me like I'm talking down to you. I'm sorry. You could come up on the couch. You could come up on the couch. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Did you shit, Ginger? I just smelled some shit. You did. I see it. Hold on. Let me pick up my dog's shit real quick. Sorry. Excuse me. Jesus, Ginger. Fuck. Took some massive fucking dumps. She just shat too. That shit was warm. That's disgusting. Yeah, Desiree was the longest relationship I ever had. We lived together for 3 years, and I was 21 to to 24. Yeah, I just turned 24 when we broke up. And then she moved in with my best friend, Wes, who lives in, I don't want you putting your ass on the couch right now if you just shat. She, she's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah, she lived with basically my best friend for 3 months thinking I would come back, and I just never did. I mean, that's a long time to be with someone when you're 21 to 24 that's a long time to live with someone when you're that young. And I tried breaking up with her after 4 months of being together in Montana, but she started crying. We were in her car, and she just started crying, and I felt bad. And I was like, well, I don't want you to be with anybody else, so I'm going to stay with you. And then we just ended up living together, and we were like a fucking married couple, basically. We went grocery shopping. We were drunk, so I'm not going to lie. Desiree and I, we had so much fun. If you're ever watching this, I know you tried to hit me up when I was in Portland, like 6 or 7 years ago. And I was with Sarah at that time. But anyways, Desiree, that was the longest relationship I ever had, and I probably should have stayed with her. She was a good girl. She wasn't slutty. She wasn't. She dated all black guys before me. I was the first white guy she was ever with. She dated athletes. She dated football players at the college in Montana. And that was probably the longest, best relationship I ever had, and I probably should have stayed with her. I was so young, I wasn't thinking clearly. But yeah, we had fun. We were drunks. I mean, we were in our early 20s, and I remember when I drove her ass from fucking Montana to California, because she's never been to California. So, and I remember it was snowing outside, and it was like a snowstorm, and we were drinking, I probably had like 7 or 8 beers. We didn't have chains on our tire, and like the car was sliding around on the highway. There's like giant diesels right next to us with this giant snow wave like going over our car, and she's like in the passenger seat like, stop fucking driving. I'm like just fucking fine driving down the fucking highway. So when we got down to California, she'd never seen a highway with like 8 lanes. I mean, she grew up on a fucking reservation in New Mexico and then went to Montana. So she's always lived in like the outskirts of the country. So she couldn't believe that there was like 8 lanes on the highway. And then she like reinvented herself kind of, because she was into like hip hop and stuff before me. And then she started getting into like David Bowie and like T-Rex and just basically, old school rock music and stuff. And I remember she had beautiful long wavy hair, but I remember she cut her hair and she had this short like mod cut, which looked so good on her. So she cut her hair and she had this like short 60s mod cut, and she wore these like little cocktail dresses. This I remember she had this like purple sparkling cocktail dress with her short hair and high heels, and she had an incredible figure. And we go out to clubs and stuff in LA, with our circle of friends, and we would fucking literally drink and party and go to after parties. And that was a good time in my life because everywhere I went I had like basically the pretty much the hottest chick in the entire place. Not to stroke my own ego, but it's what was that's how it was. It was what it was. So yeah, she was pretty good. She would have stayed with me forever. Desiree would have stayed with me for fucking ever. Like, we got into some pretty nasty fights, and like the last time I ever saw her, there was things getting thrown, plates of food were getting thrown. It got domestic where I had to leave the apartment. It was like, when it gets like that, someone has to leave. It just doesn't get better. So we didn't leave on good terms, and we never got to like resolve anything. So she ended up, later I found out she had 3 kids, and then the guy she had kids with, she never married, and he's in the psych ward. To this day, he is locked up in a psych ward. I don't know him. I don't know what fucking happened. I have no idea. This is just what she told my mom when she called my mom. This was like 6 or 7 years, 6 years ago when I was in Portland, and she was trying to contact me when I was with Sarah. But I'm completely, I'm completely over every relationship I was ever in. Totally. I'm just over it. I'm not resentful towards anybody. I'm just over everything, so it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I would have stayed with Desiree though. But anyways, yeah, that was weird. Running over that rattlesnake and then talking to that girl that sold me cigarettes, and she has the same birthday to me. It's just weird little similarities kind of trip me out a little bit. Montiego. Cheap cigarettes. Cheap cigarettes. Usually I smoke Marlboro Reds. I don't know. This is me wanting to quit. Basically, I'm trying to quit cigarettes. And so I'm like, well, if I buy a cheap pack, that's kind of like quitting cigarettes. Normally I smoke Marlboro Reds. They're like $12.50 here. And I was like, I'll buy some cheap cigarettes. That's how I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes. So this is my attempt to quit smoking cigarettes, buying cheap cigarettes. Don't smell my cigarettes, Ginger. And stop smelling my ball sack. Stop it. It's irritating. So look for, sorry, quick little testimony on one of my relationships. I know, just felt like venting. Look for, I'm going to be releasing a single, Inside and Out. It's a lot about like moving on. The lyrics are in a general way about how when things come into life, like a letter in the mail, or just when shit fucking happens, whatever, flat tire or whatever, all the little stuff that just happens in life that seems like it's overwhelming is how it affects us, and just, how people treat us and stuff. It goes inside and it goes out. So that's the whole point of the lyrics. So inside and out, all these things that come around, inside and out, all these things that come about. And then inside this web, sadistic, where it's sometimes society and just everything, life, relationships, whatever, it feels like a web, and it feels heavy sometimes. So, and we could, lose track of, ourselves through all of this. So yeah, just I don't know, not to jump around a lot. I know I'm jumping around a bunch of different topics, but I'm thinking about going vegan. Honestly, I drive past cows and cattle and horses and all this stuff living in the country, and they're so beautiful. I mean, seeing these cows, they're so just majestic, or they're mesmerizing. I mean, there's a field of all these like hundreds of cows in their open range, but the way they stand and stuff and walk, it's just like I just could feel something, and I don't know what I'm feeling, but I just have a heart for these animals, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking eat these animals, It's like I'm thinking about becoming vegan, but that takes a lot of discipline, and just working 12 hours a day. I don't know. I dated this girl. Sorry, I'm talking about all these girls I dated. I dated this girl in Portland, and she was a vegan. Her name was Addie. Sorry, Addie. And she was a vegan, meaning, and I gave her money for groceries and stuff because I was making a lot of money in Portland, but she was a vegan, and she'd send me pictures of what she bought. She would, get all these like greens and all this, like, they call it live food. That's what Sarah would call it too. They're always trying to make me vegan, these girls. So they're like, eat live food, not dead food, So she would send me pictures. Oh, look at all this food I got with the money you gave me. I'm like, okay, that's great. And then, but it's funny though, she was a vegan, but at work, because we worked at a really, really fancy hotel, they would have like these incredible, there would be events, and then they wouldn't throw away the food, so they put it in the break room for employees. So there'd be all this like gourmet fucking food, just like the best of the best. And so I would see her eating like some like meat stuff. Sometimes I'd go down there and I'd be like, Addie, why I thought you're vegan, you're eating like lobster and shrimp and stuff. She's all, well, it's already cooked. The animal's already dead. I don't want it to go to waste. So it's like, okay, this is like a new level of vegan. It's, you don't buy animal products, but if it's there, it would be also a sin to waste the food if the animal already died. So it was like a next kind of level of vegan, and so she would eat that food. Yeah, I feel like I'm reflecting a lot today. I don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, Inside and Out's coming out. Inside and Out is coming out as soon as my buddy sends me the mastered project, and when it gets my okay, if it's good, then I'll publish it, and if it's not good, I'll send it back and tell him to fix whatever that I think needs to be fixed. So that's basically what I got going on with music. And then I'm taking a fucking week off work pretty soon. I don't know, I'll probably go to Vegas or something. I'm just like, I need to decompress. I need to go to fucking Vegas and get drunk and fucking go to a show or something. I don't even drink. I haven't had a drink in 19 months. I haven't had any alcohol, but it's like I need to take a week, and I'm gonna stay at like the fucking Golden Nugget on Fremont Street, and I'm gonna get fucking drunk and play fucking $5 blackjack and go see some fucking magic show or something. I don't know, fucking take some fucking mushrooms or something and walk around. I need to fucking, I haven't done anything except work in the last fucking 5 months. And then before that, I was helping my grandma move, which was so fucking stressful because she had like 80 years of shit in her house. And she'd be like, oh, can you get that? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to take this as a Goodwill. And she's like, well, no, why don't you just set that there? And it was that for fucking 5 months straight. You know what I mean? Just being told what to do. So I need a fucking week. I need a week, y'all. I'm going to Vegas or something, and I'm going to take like fucking $5,000 out of my bank in cash and just fucking put it in my pocket and fucking drive or fly to Vegas and just get fucking loaded, drunk or something, and then come back and go to work. What was that movie, Hangover? they save a little bit of money every week to go to Vegas. That's fucking funny ass movie. Okay, I'm out of here, y'all. You guys have a good one, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Last night, oh man, last night I feel like I was purging last night. I was like, there was this like pond, this like still waterfall, and I was up in the air, and I was singing this song, and I wrote down the lyrics when I woke up, and it was like this love song about, if you like me, why aren't you with me? And basically, you know, singing it about you know who, and just saying like, just basically just yelling my heart out to her, going, if you like me, why aren't you with me? Blah 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 blah. And then and every time I sang a line, there was like a whole crowd of people that just like cheered, and they're like, yeah. So anyways, I woke up and I wrote down the chord progression, because I've been playing music so long that when I hear music, I could hear exactly what chords they are. So I wrote down the chord progression, and then I wrote down the lyrics. And I'm probably going to work on that, you know, on my next day off, most likely. All right, you all have a good night. Peace. Peace in the Middle East. God bless. Buddha.